You know, when a flight delay just ruins your whole day? That used to happen to me. Flight changes, missing bags, cancellations. It felt like the entire trip was falling apart. What finally helped wasn't coming up with some massive backup plan. It was just shrinking my focus down to the next 15 minutes. I'd ask myself three simple questions. What's true right now? What's probably coming next? And what's one tiny thing I can do to make this better? That's it. In this video, I'm sharing how I use what I call the next 15 to stay calm and actually enjoy my trip even when things go sideways. Hi there, I'm Hema and I work as a data scientist in Silicon Valley. But in between working in tech, I've traveled to over 10 countries in the last 3 years, not just to see new places, but to explore how new experiences can shape the way we live. This channel is where I share those stories and reactions. So if you have ever wanted to travel in a way that feels more personal and meaningful, you're in the right place. After a bunch of messy travel experiences, I started using something I call the next 15. And one idea that stuck with me was this: the more we try to control everything, the more anxious we feel. Brad Stulberg actually has a great name for this in his book, Master of Change. He called it the rugged flexibility. It means to hold steady on what you can influence and loosen your grip on the rest. Let that sink in for a bit, because when I finally started living this way, travel got a whole lot easier. I focus on what's true right now, what's probably coming next, and what's one tiny thing I can do to make this better. So in this video, I will share how I use the next 15 concept in real situations. I recently went on a trip to London and my flight got cancelled due to a flight technical issue. Let's just say that my first time flying with Virgin Atlantic wasn't the best. At first, it felt like the whole trip was ruined, but instead of panicking, I used the next 15. I asked myself, what's true right now? The flight is cancelled, but I'm at least at the airport. What's likely next? I will either fly out tomorrow or find another option today. And what's one tiny thing I can do to make this better? Check if there are other flights leaving today. So that's what I did. After finding another flight online, I went back to Virgin Atlantic to collect my checked luggage and immediately rushed to the British Airways desk to buy a new ticket and check my bags. It could have been a total disaster, but by shrinking the problem down to the next 15 minutes, I stayed calm, I made clear decisions, and I still made it to London that very same day. And this is where travel apps can also come in handy. I use an app called Flighty to track gate changes and flight status in real time. And I always book flights directly through the airline website instead of using third-party websites, because it makes situations like this so much easier to handle, especially with refunds and rebooking options. All of it becomes much more smoother. Another stress point, luggage. There's nothing worse than standing at the baggage carousel and realizing your bag is missing. That's where the next 15 really helps. What's true right now? My bag is missing. What's likely next? It's either delayed or stuck in transit. What's one tiny thing I can do to make this better? Check my AirTag location and head to the baggage desk. And this is how AirTags have become an essential part of my travel. I drop them in my check-in bags, in my passport holder, and even in my wallet. Basically, the three most valuable things I never want to lose track of. So now, when I'm waiting at the baggage claim, I just pull up my phone and I check exactly where my bag is. And if it happens to be sitting in my departure city, at least I know. Just knowing where it is saves me hours of anxiety and takes so much pressure off. And it's so tiny, right? So you can put it easily anywhere. Sometimes it's not flights or luggage. It's all the little curveballs that travel throws at you. Maybe the weather cancels a hike you were really looking forward to. Maybe a landmark is closed for maintenance. Or sometimes you check into a hotel and it feels nothing like the pictures online. You suddenly feel like you're getting scammed. And all of these have happened to me on trips. Those moments used to really frustrate me. But that's where the next 15 helps again. I stop and ask, what's true now? This plan probably isn't happening today. What's likely next? I now have all this free time. And what's one tiny thing I can do to make this better? Maybe explore a street side cafe, a local event, or just use the time to rest. Some of my favorite travel memories actually came from these so-called bad surprises. So whether it's flights, luggage, or unexpected interruptions, these little stressors are always going to show up. But with the next 15, travel becomes so much calmer. You stop wasting energy on what you can't control and just make your next best move. That's what adaptability really is. Trusting that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. And that's when travel starts to feel freeing instead of stressful. So that's the next 15. 3 simple questions that keep me calm when travel goes sideways. Next time things get messy, give it a try and let me know in the comments if it worked for you. I'd love to hear your story and what you ended up doing in those situations. And if you have been wanting to travel in a way that feels more meaningful and valuable, I've linked my video "One Question That Changed How I Travel," where I share how asking one simple question can shift the way you choose your destination as well as change your mindset. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Wherever you're headed next, I hope the next 15 makes your travels a bit more smoother, calmer, and more meaningful. Bye.